Hi, I'm Dr. Laurie Briegel, chiropractor at the Wellness Chiropractic Center.
And I'm Dr. Lou Briegel. We're married. We've been married for 32 years now, and the Wellness Chiropractic Center actually, this is 30 years that we've been in practice. And we've been helping people with their wellness and chiropractic needs for a number of years.
My personal story in how I got into learning about health and how I can be, a healthier person and everything was my experience as a child. I was pretty sick, really. Doc, you didn't know me back then, but
No, I didn't.
But you were a lifesaver because you taught me so much about health. But prior to us meeting, I was sick a lot. I was always missing school because of chronic colds and flus and tonsillitis, and I was treated in typical ways, with antibiotics and drugs, but it was really a resistance problem that I had. And along with that, I went to orthopedic specialist because I had what was considered a problem with my feet toeing in, and I looked pigeon-toed. And they kept saying that the problem was with my feet, and Laurie, you need corrective shoes, and you need braces on your legs, and we're going to straighten this problem out. And I went through this for years and years as a child, and it never really did, do any good. And by the time I was in high school, I still had this problem where I had postural distortions and my feet turned in, and nobody was really helping me, so I really gave up on all of that approach of, these gadgets that they were putting me in. And but my health issues continued to plague me, from serious menstrual problems and chronic headaches, and like I said, the immune system problems. And it really wasn't until we met in college, Lou, and you told me about the wonders of chiropractic care and how chiropractic could really benefit me. And we went, you found me a chiropractor, and I went, and it was just amazing to me that he took a look, quick look at an x-ray, and he was telling me more about myself than I even knew. He said, I know what's causing those headaches, and I never even told him I had headaches. And he says, and I know what's causing those feet to turn in. And I said, oh boy, here we go again. I thought, well, you're going to tell me it's my feet, right? And he said, no, it's not your feet. It's coming from your spine. And you know what he found? He found a double rotatory scoliosis in my spine, which means I had a scoliosis, a curvature, and it was pretty severe. And he says, I'm not in the spine straightening business. He proceeded to explain to me how adjustments of my spine could help allow my life energy to flow better, so that my body could heal itself naturally from within, which was just a godsend to me. It was a blessing to hear that, because nobody ever spoke those words before. And within a few short months of getting adjusted, sure enough, problems started to resolve themselves. And I became a chiropractor today because it affected my life so profoundly. And so now that was my reason for becoming a chiropractor and getting in the profession. So.
Wow, that's quite a story. It's a marvelous story. I just love hearing that every time I hear it. I did not have that kind of experience. I was more healthy, if you will. I didn't have those frustrations as a child. But it was very interesting when I started to get involved in the healthcare field and became interested in health. I was doing yoga, and I was meditating, and I was very much interested in nutrition. So what I was doing was studying nutrition. I wanted to be something in the nutritional field. So that's what I was studying, and a friend of mine hurt her back. She was a dancer in New York City. She hurt her back and called me up and said, Lou, I understand, I hurt my back, and I would like you to tell me what I could take, some kind of vitamin or something that would help that. It just so happens that a couple days before that, I was in a health food store. I found this little book about chiropractic, and so I read about halfway through, And I said to her, Carol, I says, you really should probably see a chiropractor. I think it would make more sense. So my introduction to chiropractic was referring her to a chiropractor, and she says, oh, you need to come to my chiropractor. And I says, no, I don't need to go see your chiropractor. And she says, oh, but you made me go, so you have to come with me. And actually he was going over her x-rays and examination findings, and so he talked to me, and it was interesting, and so I went ahead and let him check me out, and I was absolutely amazed. I had no health problems, but I was absolutely, well, first I was appalled to see what my x-rays actually looked like, and then I was amazed that I actually felt even better after he started adjusting me. And so that was a real interesting wake-up call for me. When we started early in our practice, it was very much chiropractic, and we took care of a lot of people. We also had a weight loss clinic that we did, because obviously we're interested in health and wellness. But the thing is that people don't take responsibility for their health. They always want somebody to fix them. They want to abuse their body. They want to just do whatever they want to do, and then go to the doctor. And I don't care if it's a medical doctor or a chiropractor, or a naturopath, osteopath. It makes no difference. They go to the doctor, and they don't want to take any responsibility for why they're like they are. They just expect the doctor to fix them. You know, fix me, doctor. And that's been very challenging over the years. And the one thing that we have discovered, along with the nerve irritation that people have, what we specialize in, is that if you don't take responsibility, then you're subjecting yourself to all of the stuff in the environment. And as that builds and creates more problems, you get a lot of toxicity in your system. And so what we do now as our Wellness Chiropractic facility is that we look very diligently at the individual. We do extensive evaluations, and
how they relate to stress, how they respond to stress.
Exactly. We have a stress response evaluation that we do, and it's we're one of only 4 clinics in the entire state of Georgia, and we're only one of 2 in the Atlanta metropolitan area and north, in the northern part of the state. But we actually hook you up to different electrodes on your head and your earlobes and your fingers and so forth, and we introduce you safely to stressful situations that are computer generated. The interesting thing is we can see how your brain responds, how your body's physiology responds to the stress. And the most important thing is when we remove the stress and ask you to sit quietly and relax.
Recover from it.
Exactly, to see if that happens or not. We also do a couple of specialized computerized nerve scans, where we can see exactly how your brain is communicating with your body and all the various parts of your body. So it's quite extensive. It's not so much well, my back is out of place. It's let's see how your neurology is, because if the brain can't communicate with all the parts of the body, those parts of the body are just not going to function properly. And the other thing that we found is everybody knows you should eat right. Everybody thinks, a lot of people think they eat right, and it's really not so good, the food. Even if they try to eat right, the foods are just contaminated with pesticides and all kinds of things, which is the other thing that we do very well.
Overcooked or processed to the point of there's no nutritional value left.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And but because of the assault that we live in today in the environment, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, the chemical assault that we have, is that we become very toxic. And when your body is toxic, you can have all kinds of health issues erupt.
Right, Dr. Lou. And the one thing a lot of people think about is that, they feel like they're subluxated because, they lift something wrong, or they had a car accident, some physical trauma. But what's interesting to note is that these chemical stresses that Dr. Lou was talking about is one of the major causes of neurological interference or subluxation that we talk about in chiropractic. So There's physical stress, there's emotional stress, there's chemical stress. And so you have to address each one of those. And chemical stress can come from the air, it can come from the water, and it can come from, the foods we eat.
Or simply just the household cleaning
Exactly, the
chemicals
products that
we
you
have.
put on your body.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is that women now, please don't get on me about this, but women, the average American woman absorbs 5 pounds of toxic chemicals into her system on an annual basis because of the makeup that they use. You get up in the morning and take an hour to get ready and get your face on just perfect, you're going to absorb, statistics prove, scientific evidence, 5 pounds of toxic chemicals. And so that's a huge assault. So what we do is we actually do seminars, we do talks to explain to people how you can detoxify this on a cellular level, because we all know we should eat good and drink good water and all that kind of stuff. And so taking responsibility for those things is one thing, but detoxifying your cells is another thing, and we can help people with that too, and all kinds of major health issues. From fibromyalgia is one it's just a toxic assault. One of the things we haven't talked about, you mentioned the air that we breathe. And one of the things about breathing the air, everybody thinks, well, if you're outside, you go into the woods, into where there's a mountain brook and everything, it's just like, oh, it's just wonderful, 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 and it's healthy. You just want to take deep breaths and so forth. And we all know we need to breathe, but and obviously you can't breathe in the city. You take a deep breath and you're coughing on the diesel fumes of the buses and all the cars and the exhaust and so forth. But one of the things that people don't realize is the air in their home.
That's true.
And we've got, or the workplace where you spend all your time. You're indoors, and of course we try to be energy efficient. We close up the house so that we don't get the outdoors in, and we just keep circulating.
Right.
Circulating. Just think of yourself getting on a plane if you've ever flown, and it's take a deep breath there.
Don't want to.
Yeah,
I want to hold my breath for 4
right.
hours on that flight.
Exactly. So you get on a plane, but your house is the same thing. It's just taking and filtering this stuff, and the chemicals
and
are there.
recirculating.
Absolutely, recirculating it. So anyway, a friend of ours, Sam Butler, has shown us, and we've had discussions on this, but he's an air quality specialist, and so we'd like to thank Sam for coming and talking to us about these things, and he's going to talk a little bit more about how you can benefit and take responsibility from the air that you breathe in your house or in your work environment.
It's an investment to your health
absolutely.
to have clean air in your house. So we appreciate Sam doing all that he does.
Yes, thank you.